This is a tutorial of how to onboard a new employee. So where do we start? Here at the helpside.com Helpside main webpage. And as an employer, to onboard an employee, you'll make your way over to this employee button here in the top right and click on Employee Portal. So logging in, here we are. We'll go make our way to Manager Portal and then to Onboarding Management. And you'll see this option right here in the top right that says add/hire employee. Click on that. Then you put in the employee's last name. And I'll just put in, just for testing reasons, a random number here. And here we go. This is where you get to put in the employee's information. So we'll start with the employee's first name. We'll say Mike. Personal email. Yeah, if the person has a work email, you can put that in as well. Same thing with phone, work phone or work phone extension numbers. When you see these red dots, these red asterisks here, that's required information. Those things would need to be filled in to continue. Let's make our way to this section, the employee citizenship information. If the employee is a visa employee, you can select yes. If not, you can select no. And then to this section, the employment information. So we can click on whichever employment type that applies to this employee. In this case, we'll select full-time. That is required because there's the red asterisk above. What is employee's first day of work? We will put 26th of July, just as an example. If this employee is being rehired, it'll ask what was the employee's regular or original date of hire, right? But if this is just a new employee, then you won't need to check that. Is the employee an officer, director, shareholder, or partner of the company? You can select yes or no on that. And now with the worksite location, you will select the worksite location that this employee will be working at. So in this case, we'll select main office, and we'll write down just the primary job duties of this. And then select the position, plumber. That is a required field. These ones are not. And so, for this, just keep things simple in general. We won't select anything in there, but if those are set up for you, then you can absolutely select from those drop-down options. Now going to employees' compensations, the last part. So let's say here, and the employee is paid on a salary basis. Now going down here to pay group, if you have more than one pay frequency, those should be there for you. You can select. Then selecting benefits group, this will be different from employer to employer. For this example, there's a primary and secondary benefit group. We'll just select primary. Okay, and when you click that submit button, your employee will then receive this email from Helpside. And he or she will be able to click on this email. And it says, congratulations. It explains a little bit about the time requirements, 15 to 20 minutes. It also provides some help down here, some phone numbers that they can contact to get some help with the onboarding process. So all they need to do is just click on this complete new employee onboarding process link. All right, they'll put in their last name and the social security number. All right, and so this is really the last part of the onboarding process. As you can see, there are 10 steps. Starts with personal info, Helpside account, policy guides. They just get to acknowledge that handbook, and then on all the way down to finishing the direct deposit and selecting any emergency contacts. So some of this information is already filled in. What they'll need to do is just look into what's already filled, see if that's correct, and if so, then just leave it as is, and then select something from these drop-down boxes so they can move forward onto the next steps. All right, next section, the employee will just create his or her Helpside account, and that will be pretty simple. All they need to do is just click into each of these fields and fill in what it asks. So they'll be able to create their username, and this serves the purpose of them being able to go in and see their personal information, see their pay stubs, be able to download their W-2s and their pay information, all those types of things, maybe even update the direct deposit information. All sorts of things are available to your employees through their Helpside account. Okay, next part is the employee will just simply have the opportunity to look at the Helpside handbook and be able to acknowledge if they agree. And so all they'll do is just to sign, they'll type their name at the bottom, and same thing with the handbook agreement. They can click a download of that right here and be able to see the PDF and be understanding of what is in that handbook. And once they do that, so they can move forward. All right, now to employment information. They will just see just the information that's listed here, that what's already been inputted for them, so they can just review that and click continue. Okay, now here's where they can fill out their federal tax W-4 form. They'll have some drop downs to choose from to check their filing status. And then they can read through this information to make the selections that apply to them. And at the very end, they can type in their name to sign. All right, now onto the state tax form. Same thing as before with the federal W-4. They're able to select their filing status and be able to go on and make their selections as they'd like. And then just to end it, they will type their name. Okay, now this is the I-9 form. This is where the employee will be able to fill out their personal information. They can click up here, noting that their personal information has been previously provided to Helpside. If they just click on this button, it will autofill for them, and then they can move forward down to selecting these buttons here and selecting whether they used a preparer or translator or not, and then click Save and Continue. All right, then on to step 9, which is for direct deposit. If your employee does not wish to enroll in a direct deposit or have their funds transferred to them via direct deposit, then all they need to do is just click on this continue button down here at the bottom. That will skip this step, and then on their payrolls, they will have physical checks printed for them that can be sent to you, the employer. They can be mailed to the employee. They can be picked up at the Helpside front desk. If you have a preference on what that looks like, and if you do have an employee that chooses to have their checks physically printed, then be in contact with your payroll specialist about how you would like that to get to them. But if they do want to set up a direct deposit or enroll in a global cash card or Wisely Pay card, they will just click on this button here and it will ask them the standard information, their account number, their routing number, things like that. Okay, then moving on to the last step that your employee will do is just filling out emergency contacts. This is not required, but it is an option for them. If they'd like to add a new emergency contact, they'll just click this button here and they'll be able to fill in the corresponding information that would help us identify that emergency contact to be able to get a hold of them. And after that, that's it. Your employee will just click on this complete onboarding button. Now, the next thing to do after the employee has submitted his or her onboarding information is for you, the employer, to go in and fill out the employer portion of the I-9 documentation for that employee. So what you'll do is just log into your employee portal, which is what we see here, and then direct yourself to the manager portal option right here. Click on that, and then go down to onboarding management. Once in there, you will see a list of employees and where they are so far in their onboarding. And for example, if someone has completed the employee section, but the employer section of the I-9 has not been completed, you'll see something like this in the I-9 status column. Section 1 has been completed, which is the part that the employee fills out, and Section 2 is the employer portion. So for this employee, we'll just take this employee as an example and click Start Section 2. What you'll do is you'll select which document that you'll be filling out for the employee. So for example, let's say the employee provided a US passport. And that is a List A document. You'll click List A, and then you'll click the button here, US passport. And then you'll select the issuing authority, and then you'll provide the documentation, the document number, expiration date, if any. And there'll be some boxes to check, just certifying that this is filled out correctly and honestly. And then That's just about it. There'll be some required fields here for you to put in, such as your first name, last name of the person filling out this form, the authorized representative, the name of the employer, and that can be submitted. All of this information will go to your payroll specialist after reviewing this new employee information. And once that is approved, then that will be updated and put into your payroll. So this employee will then be on your payroll. And there you have it. If you have any questions about using the onboarding tools, please reach out to your payroll specialist or a member of our client success team for assistance. Thank you.